Alright guys, now we have our taillight assembly. You can see here this is the entire driver's side assembly. And what we're going to do now is remove the outer lens and replace it with a new one that has never been used. It's new old stock, and for the first time ever it's going to go on a car. So I want to just go over why we're replacing it again. If you can see up here, let me see if you guys can make that out in the camera. It's starting to completely delaminate here, which means that the inner portion of the lens is separating from the outer. There's nothing really you can do to stop that. Once it starts, it's only a matter of time before it goes from this to this. Now the reason for this is because the inner and outer portions of the lens are separating from each other. As if we look on the back, you can see that this inner portion is a separate piece that's fused to the outer lens. Now 40 years later, which I'm sure they never intended these things to last this long, with repeated exposure to the sun, this is what happens. Now this is a junkyard one that I bought off eBay, so I knew it was going to be in this kind of condition. I bought it just so I can get the other parts from the tail light. So let's put this aside and take a look at mine, or the current one that was on the car. Now, other than the little delamination, this taillight assembly is in perfect shape. I don't know if you can make it out here. You probably can't see it on the camera, but around the lettering for Pontiac, there is also some delamination going on. So we're going to go over how easy it is to do this using one simple tool. After you remove it from the car, a small pry tool is all you're going to need to separate the lens from the rear portion of the taillight housing. And we're going to do that now. Now, take a look at the taillight. You're going to have 3 clips, 1, 2, 3 on the top, and 1, 2, 3 on the bottom. Now these clips you're going to have to pop off so you can separate the lens from the taillight housing. Inside it's held together with strip caulk, which GM uses to keep water out of the lens, and just to hold it together. Now, removing it is pretty easy. Basically, we're just going to pop the cover, the tab over its retainer here. Then we're going to go in and slowly start to separate it very carefully, because it's the first time this has been apart in probably close to 40 years, if not longer. Okay, we're going to slowly walk it off. We're going to make our way to our second tab. We're going to pop that one. Continue to slowly walk it off. Walking, we're walking here.
Hey, I'm walking here. I'm walking here.
Until, and as you can see, this tab was already popped off, so that just makes it a little bit easier. And we're just going to give a little bit of separation there. Then we're going to flip it over, and we're going to go over to the other side. Now these tabs here, you may find some of them may be broken. If they are, and you don't have another taillight assembly, I found with at least 2 of them on, it should hold and without any issues. So here we go. Now we're going to pop it up very carefully. Remember, this is 40-year-old plastic, and we don't want to force anything apart. So you're just going to work it and work it and work it until you can separate it. And then we're going to start going in with the pry tool, and there we go. Start working it apart. slowly working it apart. And then we'll walk it over. The underside is a little bit harder than the upper portion to separate. And lift, pop it off. There we go. And walk it off. Walk it off. We're going to do it all in real time because I want you guys to see that really isn't very difficult, but you do have to be careful as you are dealing with very old plastic. There we go. And now we're going to pop the last tab, and hopefully we get this off without breaking it, as that is our goal always. There we go. And this one, there we go. That one was a fighter. Okay, so here we go. We've got our taillight assembly almost completely apart. Now we're just gonna walk it off. And we're going to separate it from the rear portion. You may notice that the strip caulk they use may not want to release right away. And there we go, guys. We have our inside tail light assembly separated. Now we're going to separate all the parts, as they could probably, after all these years, use a good wash before you're putting it all back together. And then we're going to remove the inner portion of the lens. And there we go, guys. Those are our 4 parts to the Pontiac Fiero fastback taillight assembly. So now I'm going to go give these things a little bit of a cleaning. I'm going to remove the butyl tape, and this, well, let's just do that now so we can show you guys really how easy it is to pull this stuff off. At this point, majority of it will just peel right off. There are instances when you actually can reuse this stuff, as it maintains its elasticity. I don't really recommend it unless you have no choice. And there we go, guys. All right, now I'm gonna go give this stuff a little bit of a cleaning up, and we'll be back with the reassembly. Okay, guys. Now we're gonna start reassembling, giving everything a quick cleaning up, and we're gonna start putting it all back together now. I wanted to show you this. This is the driver's side lens. This is a new old stock part that's never been installed in a car. I was very lucky to find this on eBay a while ago, and I'm finally gonna go ahead and install it on the car. It's a once in a lifetime find, and it's finally gonna go on the car. So let's just turn it around. And I've got a nice soft cover on top of my workbench here to make sure we don't scratch it or damage it in any way. We're going to lay that down, and now the first thing we're going to do is we're going to insert our red backing and our taillight lens, inner lens. We're going to insert our red backing and our inner lens into the outer lens. Making sure that everything is seated completely. There we go. Now that's almost ready to be installed. Okay. I'm going to set that to the side. And now we're going to be we're getting ready to lay our butyl caulk in the small ridge here around the entire circumference of the taillight lens. Alright, now that we've laid our caulk in here, might have gone a little heavy on it, but rather be safe than sorry. Now we're going to wash our hands and then put our lens on. Alright, so now that we have our strip caulk all in place, let's just make sure that we got good coverage there. And a little bit of a gap there. Let's just move some of it in here. Remember guys, water flows downward. So you want to make sure that your upper portions and your sides are well covered. Here, you want full coverage, but this is where your water entry points are going to be. All right, so we got that. So now we have our lens assembly all together. And now we're just going to install our lens into the housing, making sure we line all our clips up. There we go. And there we go. And now comes a part where we're just going to squeeze it all together, making sure that all of these clips pop right into place. There we go. There we go. Squeezing down to make sure that we're right in on that strip caulk. Because if you do get a leak, no big deal. You can take it apart and redo it, as the strip caulk is not a permanent bond, as you can tell by the way I took it apart. Alright, now we're going to bring that together. That's one. This part is the toughest part, but you want to make sure that you're in there. There we go. That's one. That's two. lot of times these tabs will be broken, but when they're not, take advantage of them. And there we go, guys. Got to do a little cleaning up now, but she's all said and done. Brand new, well, brand new old stock. Pontiac Fiero GT tail light. Now, I'm going to give it a little bit of a cleaning up, and then I'm going to install it on the car, and we'll be back with the final reveal. Alright guys, let's test our lights. Look at the bright red Pontiac lettering that lights up. Now we're going to test our tail lights, we're going to test our directionals, just to make sure everything works properly. And I'm really happy that it does, because it would suck to have to take it all apart again. Now I know the Pontiac lettering looks a little pink. Those are the brighter Rodney Dickman bulbs, and it only looks that way through the camera. In real life, it's super bright red. And now, let's just take a look at the lenses as they're all installed. I'll give you guys a look at both sides here so you can see how crystal clear these lenses are. Super shiny and reflective. I hope that this answers any questions for any of you guys who have to rebuild your tail lights, as it's pretty much the same procedure for the notchbacks or the fastbacks. And it's a really simple job. Now that I've gone through it with you guys, you can see how really simple it is, and anyone can do it. So don't be afraid to tackle this if you're looking to replace your taillight lenses. Alright guys, I'll see you on the next one.